Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending the WestCare Illinois Virtual Job Fair event. I would like to introduce you to Brad. Brad will tell you about his company, job openings, and how to apply for those openings. Brad?
Yes, hi, welcome to our WestCare's job fair. I'm glad you could all be present for this today. Just figure I'd start off with some information about our company and what we do, and then at the end, if any of you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Sound good? All right. So, just to give you a little bit of information, WestCare is a family of tax exempt nonprofit organizations. We were founded in 1973. We provide a wide spectrum of behavioral health and human services in both the residential and outpatient environments. For the positions that we have at Sheridan, we are at Sheridan Correctional Center in Sheridan, Illinois. Okay. The position that we are hoping to recruit for is a certified counselor. What a certified counselor means is you have to have um, some sort of certification or license, whether that is a LPC, LSW, CADC, LCPC, or LCSW. Okay, we also hire non certified counselors as well, meaning that they don't have a counseling license, but then after 2 years of working with us, they would have to get some sort of license, but we help you with that process. We help you to try and get your CADC by doing things like study groups. I would help you with your application and portfolio. So yeah. So just to give you an idea what we're looking for at Sheridan. Okay, at Sheridan Correctional Center is a medium security prison that we work at. We do groups there. Most of the groups are run from about 20 to 25 clients. We call them clients because it is a client centered program. They are also referred to as inmates by the correctional facility correctional officers. But we refer to them as clients because it's client centered. We do group therapy there. We do groups such as CBT and criminal thinking, criminal lifestyle. We do groups on anger management. We do groups PTSD and trauma informed care. Um, we do groups on better communications. We do a lot of different things there in our groups. Okay. But technically, it is a substance abuse treatment center. Okay. Most of the clients there are there for substance abuse problems. So that is our main focus at Sheridan. Okay. Um, let's see, moving forward here. All right. Our vision, WestCare devotes our best collective and individual efforts to uplifting the human spirit by consistently improving, expanding, and strengthening the quality, efficacy, and cost effectiveness of everything we do in building for the future. WestCare empowers everyone with whom we come into contact with to engage in a process of healing, growth, and change benefiting themselves, their families, coworkers, and communities. Okay. We strive for excellence. We value and reward success. We're committed to continual improvement in all that we do. We expect nothing less than success, and we have the means to create and foster success to ourselves, our coworkers, and those we serve. We are very dedicated to the people we try to help and doing a good job. We try to express empathy for our clients at the prison and all clients we come in contact with. Okay, we're very compassionate. We're very caring towards these clients. We are always about growth. We're committed to learning and continuous improvement, which is an ongoing thing no matter who you are, right? This is a dynamic process, not just one event. Okay. We try to meet our goals and fulfill our mission. Also, we try to uphold great ethics. We value and expect integrity in every aspect of our work and accept nothing less. All right. Um, so yes, we do other things across the nation. We do education and prevention, residential treatment. We do intervention, offender reentry. Um, we do telehealth. We do all sorts of different things across the country. But our main focus at Sheridan is working with the prison inmates or clients as we refer to them. Our system has been proven effective. We have a 30% relapse and recidivism rate of our offenders that leave our prison, which is very good. If you check the other relapse and recidivism rates of other facilities in the state or nation, you will see that most of them are probably not even close to that. Okay, so our program is very effective and very good. Okay, um, we are nationally recognized for our quality service and care, for providing substance use treatment via a modified therapeutic community. We have about 2,000 clients at our prison. Okay, we also have locations at Lincoln Correctional Center. We have a Women of Dignity site at Logan Correctional Center. We have a dual diagnosis um, facility at Logan Correctional Center. Um, we also have we're also involved in DuQuoin Impact Incarceration, Dixon Springs Impact Incarceration, Decatur Correctional Center, Cook County, Crossroads Adult Treatment Center, and Harrisburg, Illinois. Okay, those are our different programs throughout the state. Okay, but at Sheridan, we mostly focus on substance use disorder services. Um, give you an idea. Some of our benefits, if you were to work for us, we have health insurance or Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have vision insurance through Anthem Blue View Vision. We have dental insurance through Delta Dental. We also have accident care, disability plans, accident and illness. We have critical illness benefits. We have employee paid life insurance policy on employee. We have a retirement and investment through 401k and Voya Financial. We company match and we are 100% vested immediately for that. We have 10 traditional holidays plus 2 floating holidays annually if you were to work for us. You get 2 weeks a year of vacation in the first year, and after 6 months worked, we also offer sick leave accrual, catastrophic leave program, bereavement leave, life assistance program, and employee wellness program. So we offer a lot of good benefits as well. Okay. The positions we are looking for at Sheridan, we are looking for, like I said earlier, a certified substance abuse counselor, non-certified substance abuse counselor. There is way to achieve growth within our program. Lots of almost, I think all of our supervisors were once counselors. So there is growth within the program. I was once a counselor, okay, and I'm the clinical manager. So there's a lot of opportunity for advancement at our facility. Okay. All right. So you for your to be credentialed or to be a counselor at our facility, you have to have at least a high school diploma. Okay. Like I said, we try and help you get your CADC. Obviously, if you have a bachelor's degree, right? Or if you have a master's degree, that's going to affect your rate of pay. So the higher education, the greater it's going to increase your pay. And if you are certified, that is going to increase your pay as well. Um, if you don't though, you can work your way up, and then that will help you to make more money as well. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, all right, feel free to email me after this job fair is over at Bradley, which is BRADLEY .DAILEY at westcare.com. Okay. If you have any job fair questions, if you have any HR questions, all right, you can contact Mary Beth O'Hara at MARYBETH O'Hara at westcare.com, and we'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay. All right. So that was the brief presentation I wanted to get. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them. I tried to give you a pretty good idea of what we do there, but I would like to hear what you guys have to say.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Brad. And as Brad stated, if you do have any questions for him regarding employment at WestCare, Illinois, please feel free to enter those into the chat and we'll get those answered for you. Brad, if you don't mind, could you go ahead and drop that contact info directly into the chat for folks who might not have heard what you said there?
Drop the contact info. Where would I put that? Sorry.
Into the chat section.
Oh, in the chat. Okay, sorry.
Correct.
Yes, I will do that right now.
No worries. And while you're doing that, Brad, what we're going to go ahead and do while we wait for additional questions from participants on the call, I've got just some standardized questions that I will ask you here as long as you are willing to answer those questions. Are you?
Yes.
Fantastic. So the first question that I have for you, Brad, is how long does your hiring process typically take from the point of submitting an application to actually being an extended and official offer?
Okay, good question. So, first we have to go through the interview process. Okay, most likely I would be the person to interview you. Okay, once we complete that interview, we have to submit a background check to the state of Illinois. Okay, that can take anywhere from a week or two to 2 months. It really just depends on how quickly the state of Illinois processes the background check. Sorry. Once we have your application, once we have your background check, and you've completed everything that you need to complete, we would then call you and make an offer if we feel like you are right for our program. Okay. I hope you don't feel intimidated by that. We are very accepting. Okay. We want as many counselors as possible, so we are very open to working with you to help you be good in this position as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brad. The next question that I have is kind of at the forefront of a lot of folks' minds with the continued safety precautions that are being required through the COVID pandemic. How exactly is your organization handling those COVID safety precautions? And are you offering virtual interviewing?
Okay, so to answer your question, we are doing our best job possible. We have hand sanitizer all throughout the prison. We have limited client movement. Okay, the clients at our facility used to be up and moving around a lot more than they are now. Okay, so they've cut some of the programs as far as like the clients going to yard and doing things like that, to try and limit face-to-face contact or human contact to slow the spread of the virus. Also, we all wear face masks, okay? Everybody that works at the correctional facility is to be wearing a mask at all times unless they are eating or are at their desk and the door is shut. Okay, so we take it very seriously. We're also working if we're also working on getting vaccinated, if you would like to. All right, we haven't gotten vaccinated yet, but our program is working on that to get the vaccines into the prison. Okay, for our workers. Hopefully, they will have them for the prisoners or clients, as we call them, as well. Okay. Other than that, we try to, we used to have a lot more meetings. We used to have a lot more events, and we've really shut a lot of that down as well, just to limit the contact that we have with each other. Also, if you were interested in doing an interview, but you did not want to come in person, okay, I cannot do virtual interviews with you. However, I can do phone interviews with you. We are able to do that because it's a prison. We cannot have cameras in the prison. So that's why we have to do phone interviews if you choose to not to want to do in-person interviews.
Fantastic. Thank you for that thorough response, Brad.
Yes.
The next question that I have is actually directly from the chat. This individual asks, can you please repeat the location of the Sheridan Correctional Center? Is that the location that is listed on the screen, Brad?
Okay, so the location is 4017 East 2603 Road in Sheridan, Illinois. Okay. Sheridan, I don't know if you guys know if any of you know a whole lot about where Sheridan is. Sheridan is out. If you know where Ottawa, if anybody knows where Ottawa is, it is about um, 30 minutes east of Ottawa, 20 to 30 minutes east of Ottawa. If you know where Yorkville, Oswego, and Aurora is, from Yorkville, it's probably about 30, 35 minutes away.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Brad.
Yeah.
The next question that I have for you is, how can a candidate stand out and get an interview, assuming they are qualified for the position in which they are applying? Is there anything that you suggest, perhaps they highlight on the resume, any tips or general pointers that you might be able to provide the folks on the call?
Yes, so we are looking for a great positive attitude. Obviously, if you have education, right? If you have a good education in the field, that is going to help your professional development and your ability to do quality groups in our program, right? Also, please keep in mind we're willing to work with you to help you get some sort of certification or license. A lot of our counselors right now, um, even though they've been hired, they're working towards some sort of higher education. So, obviously education helps, but a lot attitude is a big component in who we're trying to hire, because sometimes I'll be honest with you, it's a prison and it can be very negative, right? So but it's also a great rewarding place to work. So attitude is everything, and being open, being willing to learn new things, because you learn a lot by doing the position.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. And I did get another question in the chat. This individual asks, do you have any jobs in Chicago?
Yes, we do have jobs in Chicago. If you go to WestCare, www.westcare.com, okay, you would then click on Get Involved, okay, and then you would see, once you click on Get Involved, you would see Career Opportunities in blue at the top left of the screen. You would click on that, and then in the search position, you could enter in different positions, and I'm pretty sure you can work with it to find jobs in Chicago. I know we have a facility in Chicago that does individual counseling. Right now, I know they do a lot of telehealth appointments. Okay. But I think a lot of those positions have to have some sort of higher education, such as a master's degree or some sort of clinical licensure.
Awesome. Thank you for that response, Brad. And I know you kind of had briefly mentioned continuing education. Can you kind of elaborate on what expenses might be covered in that regard? And then can folks expect to be or paid, excuse me, for the time in which they're being trained?
Okay, all great questions. So, I would train you every single week. Okay, what we do is we have what's called a CADC study group that we do every week for an hour, where we study the material needed um, for your CADC. Okay, so that is like free training right there. Also, some of the things we offer to help you get your higher education or certification, we would probably pay for your hotel room where you take the certification test at. Right now, the only facility that is doing testing is in Springfield, but hopefully it will open up to more sites. But we would pay for your hotel room in order to take that test.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brad. Next question that I have for you, because you're obviously working in a prison type of environment. I'm assuming that you conduct background checks for your applicants. If so, can you give a little bit of insight into the process? And also, a question that I receive frequently on a lot of these events is, would misdemeanor offenses, minor drug, offenses, things of that nature be disqualifying factors for folks that are seeking employment with your organization?
Yeah, so that is a great question. Yes, I don't know that question offhand. I think your background check has to go through first. But I tell you what, I would email, if you have previous offenses and you would like to know if it's still possible for you to get a job through our company at Sheridan Correctional Center. please email Mary Beth O'Hara and she would be able to answer that for you.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Brad. And when you do get a chance, can you enter her contact information into the chat as well for the folks that are on the call?
Yes, I will do that right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And while Brad is doing that, I'd like to use this as an additional opportunity to, again, encourage you all, if you do have any questions for Brad regarding employment with WestCare Illinois, please feel free to enter those into the chat. We'll get those questions answered for you as soon as possible. And Brad, I do have an additional question for you. Can you elaborate once you get a chance just on what a typical day might be like working for your organization? And then you can also kind of elaborate on what typical shifts hours are as well.
Sure. So I'll give you an idea of what your average day would be like. Okay. Um, to let you know, we work 7:30 to 3:30 Monday through Friday. Okay. Currently, that is our only shift, 7:30 to 3:30 Monday through Friday, which is nice because once you leave, you don't have to do work from home. I've been in a lot of jobs in the past where we have to do work from home. Once you leave our facility, you are done for the night. Okay. Anyways, average day. You get to the gatehouse by 7:15, 7:30. We can't go in before 7:15. If you get there before 7:15, you can wait in the parking lot. Obviously, if you get there after 7:30, you're considered late. The reason for that is because IDOC, or Illinois Department of Corrections, has to monitor everything we do, and it makes it harder for them to monitor us and keep us safe if we're going in at all different times of the day. So please get to the gatehouse between 7:15, 7:30. Then you would go to whatever building you are at. Okay. Say you get to your building by 7:40, 7:45. Okay. The clients at those buildings would then run their own group and called AMD, which stands for AM Development. And we just kind of supervise that group. They run it on their own to start their day on a positive note. That takes us till about 8 o'clock. If you are doing group you of about 20 to 25 clients based on the curriculums I mentioned earlier, you would do group from 8 to 9. Okay. Then you get a 15-minute break from 9 to 9:15. You can take a walk, smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do, right? Then we resume group at 9:15, and it ends at 10:45 in most buildings. Okay, some buildings go to 10:30. Just depends when that building goes to lunch. Okay, then from 10:45 till 11, you get 15 minutes to do paperwork, write a report on how group went, things like that. All right, that takes us to 11 o'clock. We do lunch from 11 to 11:30. Okay. Most people go to what is called the chow hall. I was doing that probably 99% of the time prior to the pandemic. Now I bring my lunch every day. You don't have to go there, but they usually have free salad bar, free fruit, and usually something that they cook for you that is usually pretty good or edible at least. That takes us to 11:30. Okay, once you go to the chow hall, you can go back to your building at 11:30. You don't have to go to the chow hall, like I said. You can stay in your office. You can eat lunch at a picnic table, whatever it is you want to do for that half hour. All right, so that takes us to 11:30. Then you go back to your building. Then from 11:30 to 12:15, you get 45 minutes to do paperwork. Okay. Um, then from if you're doing group in the afternoon, you do group from 12:15 to 2. Then you get another 15-minute break, take a walk, you can go smoke a cigarette, do your paperwork, whatever it is you want to do for that 15 minutes, right? Then if you're doing group, you do group from 2:15 to 3:15, and that would be your day. Um, some days you're going to do group in the morning and not in the afternoon, and you'll just do paperwork. Some days you're going to do group in the afternoon and not in the morning, um, and you would just do paperwork in the morning. Some days you're going to do group both in the morning and afternoon. Some days you're not going to do group at all. So it just depends what's going on for that day. Paperwork,
Fantastic.
yeah, and paperwork includes things like treatment plans, progress notes, case staffing forms, DAP notes, things like that.
Great. Thank you for that Incredibly thorough explanation, Brad. I think it's definitely abundantly clear exactly, what is going to be happening step by step during a typical day. Next question that I have for you, Brad, again, because of the kind of environment that you are working in, is there any sort of restrictions on tattoos, hair color, or piercings folks might need to be aware of?
As far as tattoos and hair color, I don't think there's any restrictions there. Okay. As far as earrings go, yes, there might be some restrictions just because that might be considered like a safety concern. But again, um, please contact HR, which is Mary Beth O'Hara at westcare.com in the chat, and she would know more information about that for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. And kind of along with that question, what would be the typical work attire that somebody could expect to wear on any given day?
Sure. We do business casual. Okay. What that means is Monday through Thursday, you have to wear some sort of dress pants, right? You can wear a sweater with that. You can wear a button up shirt, things like that, right? You can wear, if it's warm out, you can wear a polo shirt with short sleeves, but you have to have some sort of dress pants on. You can wear any shoes you want because it is kind of a big campus, right? So you don't have to wear dress shoes. You can wear tennis shoes. You can wear boots. You can wear, if you want to wear dress shoes, go for it. But you can pretty much, I mean, you can wear Air Jordans, whatever it is you want to wear for your shoes. So just to give you an idea, Fridays we're allowed to dress more casually. We're allowed to wear blue jeans on Fridays, and then some sort of shirt that is appropriate as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a dress shirt, but Fridays are more relaxed.
So thank you for that, Brad. And I just do want to reiterate, if any of the folks on the call have any questions for Brad regarding employment with WestCare, Illinois, please feel free to enter those into the chat and we'll get those answered for you. Brad, I think we will kind of begin the concluding kind of portion of the events here. I do have one additional question for you, and that is, what are the opportunities for advancement within your organization? And are there any particular success stories that you might want to highlight for the folks that are still on the call?
Sure. So yes, you would start off as a counselor, right? I think every single one of our counselor supervisors started out as counselors. Okay, so they were able to work their way up to that. All of our after that, it goes. I'll give you the pecking order. It goes counselor, counselor supervisor, then it goes to assistant director, then it goes to myself, the clinical manager, and then after that it goes to the program manager. Okay, I can tell you every single assistant director, every single client counselor supervisor, myself and the program manager all started out as counselors at the program. Okay, so there is tons of room for advancement at our location.
So thank you for that, Brad. And it doesn't look like we have any additional questions in the chat as of now. Again, please feel free to enter those if you do. But in the meantime, Brad, I want to allow you to have one more additional opportunity to perhaps include anything that you feel might have been overlooked, perhaps cover something more thoroughly or in depth that you might feel that need to be repeated for the folks that are on the call before we conclude the session here today.
Sure. Yeah, I would just like to say it is I've been in the mental health field for probably about 13 years, right? I've done some different jobs. I will say that being a counselor at this facility is about as rewarding as it gets in the field, to my experience. Okay, it is great to see the clients you work with have a change process and see them grow and change and try and do away with their old ways and live a new, better life. It is wonderful to watch that unfold. So it is very rewarding. Um, it's a very great place to work. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brad. And I just do want to reiterate, the folks that are on the call, if you do have any questions for Brad regarding employment at WestCare, Illinois, you can reach him at that email address that was provided in the chat. And if you do have any sort of HR specific related questions, again, he also provided the contact information for Mary Beth O'Hara as well. So please feel free to reach out to her for any of those HR related questions that you might have. I do want to note that I have recorded today's session and it will be uploaded to the Illinois WorkNet Virtual Job Fair YouTube channel later this afternoon. Once it's been uploaded there, I will also be uploading it onto the Illinois Virtual Job Fair employer booth page, for WestCare, Illinois. That will be uploaded there later today. Again, thank you everyone for attending today. I hope it was informative and you all received a lot of helpful information in your applications to WestCare, Illinois. Brad, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending.